This is the Thursday, August 11th Spokane Park Board meeting. I want to welcome everyone. It's nice to have an audience again, to be in person. I know that you all are here probably to speak about the Candy Rogers issue, and of course, as you know, it's not on the agenda for discussion or vote today, but we are here to listen. So you will see Park Board members both on the screen and here in person, as well as staff. But first, I'm going to ask Park Board members if we have any additions or deletions to the agenda.
No.
Nope, okay. And nobody else is chiming in, so we will begin with public comment. Now, I do have 9 of you on the list, so that everybody has a chance to speak. Please be succinct. You get brownie points for being brief. All right. So we'll start with Sarah Ferris, please.
I will try my best to stay within the time limits. I know it's challenging, so forgive me if I sound like a bullet train at times, but I'll do my best to get my points in. Good afternoon, President Ogden, board members, park and rec staff, guests and citizens. It's a great honor to be here today. I stand here, I guess you could say, as a witness to history. I was alive when Candy Rogers was. So was she. We're standing here with me. But she can't, obviously. She would be 73 years young. I'm 71 years young. In March of 1959, Candy and I were both Bluebirds, the youngest division of Camp Fire Girls. Candy was a 4th grader at Holmes Elementary, and was on the cusp of becoming a Camp Fire Girl. She was a Bluebird. I was 7 years old, 2nd grader at Roosevelt. I also was selling mints. It was a big deal. It was the highlight of our year. And we felt like little salespersons, and actually the mints in truth sold themselves. They were so delicious. Miss Sailor's light and dark chocolates, which we had all sampled before we went out on our journey. And it was also especially fun because we sold to people in our neighborhoods. And in 1959, everybody knew your neighbor. Not so today, but we did then, and we felt very safe. We also could earn beads, and we could earn badges and a scholarship to Camp Swayalakan. So that was an added incentive to do our job and do it well. Everything was going along just fine, but then one Friday in March 6th to be specific, in 1959, I remember walking into my family room. It's imprinted in my brain, and the news was on, black and white in those days. And there was this beautiful child's face, and I heard the word Bluebird, I heard the word campfire, I heard the word missing, and I was just sort of frozen there. I'd heard the word kidnapping because I was raised by 2 World War II parents. I knew what that meant. Thank you. I knew what that meant. My parents they grew up in the 30s, and the Lindbergh kidnapping was legendary. And then the largest manhunt in Pacific Northwest history was Georgie Weyerhaeuser. I knew about that. And then, of course, the son, Charlie, 10-year-old of a physician in Tacoma, was kidnapped at gunpoint. I knew that 2 of those cases, Lindbergh and the doctor's son, did not come home. Georgie did. He lived to age 90, and so I hoped and prayed that that would be the case with Candy. 16 days passed, we got an answer, and I won't go further. We all know what happened. There's 2 points I want to make, and I'll be speaking sort of list style. I apologize, but it's the only way I can get through them. What did the impact the Candy had on this town? I can tell you, as a human being who was born and raised here, lived up and down the West Coast in big urban areas and small towns where I taught school, I have never seen an adult or child who had such an impact on a place, a city, a town, whatever, as Candy. I really haven't, and I was brought up to be informed and watch the news and read and all of that, but I have never seen anything like it. She unified this town like nobody else. She really did, because we were united as citizens with the police force, with the region, for a common cause, which was to find her. Candy's case really inspired the creation of the Washington State Crime Lab. I won't go into the details, but it is a hugely needed and appreciated resource. Candy made us all realize that we were naive as regards safety. As I say, I went out as a little girl alone. I felt perfectly safe. I recognized the faces I was selling to. But after that incident happened, that was not acceptable. You had to have an adult or another human being with you. While Candy's death devastated us, of course it did, it devastated all of us and everyone in the community in the region, including the White Pine Council in Coeur d'Alene, but it didn't destroy us. I think it motivated my generation, I can speak for them, and ones that are here present that are younger than me, much younger. It motivated so many of us to go into helping professions, like medicine, like law, like criminology, like school safety, like child advocacy, where we could make a difference. Because Candy was that kind of person. You knew she would make a difference in life. Since she couldn't, we would help her do it for her and in her memory. The police department here is now renowned around the world. I've never seen a police force, and I lived in big places like Oakland and Seattle and so on and so forth. I've never seen a police department, and small towns and mid-sized cities, I've never seen it so dedicated and so determined not to give up on this precious child. It didn't haunt them. So as I say, you do get over that, but it inspired them. It motivated them to find answers. I have never seen a case, and I've followed cases. I lived right near where they thought Patty Hearst was in California. Kidnapping, like I say, I knew from age 7 what that was all about. But I've never known a perpetrator's family, who are here present tonight, give their DNA to help solve and find answers. That is extraordinary. Those are just 6 points, and I would go further. I could have 100, but those are ones that stand out to me. A playground, apply a playground. Well, I'm a teacher of kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a K1 and a 1, 2, and a 2, 3.
Get closer to the mic. Back to the mic.
Back to the mic,
drifting.
sorry. Thank you. And I've worked with children. Before I graduated high school, I volunteered at Sacred Heart Hospital in 1966, worked in Project Head Start, as they called it then, and I've become a mother to many. I worked in great wealth, I worked in extreme poverty, I worked in the middle class. I've seen trauma and tragedy in every single one of those settings. What it taught me was children are so much stronger than we give them credit for. They are resilient, they are transformative, and they are teachers. They taught me how to cope. When I had to come in one day and tell them that their beloved principal and my mentor dropped dead the night before, it was hard. There were tears, but we worked through it. We kept on a routine. We listened, we comforted, we let them draw their feelings and speak their feelings, and we did recover. I taught the day 9/11 happened, a group of 2nd graders in another school. I've never seen so many adults crying in a staff room in my life. We were all sobbing, but we had to pull ourselves together, and we had to reassure these children in Central Washington State that you are safe, we are here for you, we will not leave you. I had a little boy, I'll never forget it. He came up, didn't say anything. He was a gifted child. It was very graphic. 2 twin towers, people falling out of buildings. I mean, he had every detail. I told his mom, just not in an alarmist way, but please keep a lookout for him, and I will as well. A month later, did the same thing. Didn't say a word. Here. Same 2 towers, immaculately drawn, and there was a rainbow over both of them. That told me he wasn't over his grief, but he was healing. I think our friends in Sandy Hook, Connecticut really showed us what to do. They had 20 children, 6 adults killed in that horrible incident 10 years ago at Sandy Hook Elementary. The one thing every single grieving family that the victims could agree upon was a playground. Not only did they make a playground, they made 26 of them scattered across Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. They're up and running, they are successful, they are happy, they are healing. They are wonderful, wonderful places. And playgrounds do that. They're not only teaching places, they're relaxing places. As Mr. Rogers said, the playgrounds are places where you practice what you're learning, whether it's social skills, physical skills, or a million other things. I just want to end by saying something a clinical psychologist, Kay Redfield Jameson, I believe she works out of Johns Hopkins, said, and I quote, "A child needs the freedom to play. Play is not a luxury, it is a necessity." And I would add one more line. It's also a healing place and a place of honor. We're not glorifying death. We're glorifying her life. We're turning pain into purpose. And if that's really, and this, Candy's not there, but her heart is there and always will be. And I think that's a lovely thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Joe Poss.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Joe Poss. I'm actually here speaking on behalf of my mother, Joanne Poss, who's going to speak a little later. She is Candy's cousin, so Candy would have been my second cousin, and obviously I never had the joy of getting to know her. But I am here to speak on behalf of my family. And where I start with is gratitude, gratitude to all of you and those on the Zoom screen for your service. None of this works if not for people that are willing to step forward and serve and be a part of the process. The Spokane parks, the county parks, the city parks are part of our secret weapon here in this region. We are incredibly blessed to have what we have here, and that's part of why this request came to you all, because the parks are such a cherished place. It's where people gather, and it's a very special thing that we have in our community. So thank you for your service. And also, on behalf of my family, I want to extend gratitude to the tiny, powerful army sitting behind here of individuals who've come together because of Candy. I think it's very natural to get stuck on the horror of what happened in this situation. But I want us to reflect on the significance of how a community perpetuates its values. The way we do that is by capturing and telling stories. If nothing more, as a community, we are storytellers. It is wrong for us to get caught in the horror. That is not the story. That is not who Candy was. Our opportunity here is to tell the story in totality of, yes, who Candy was, but everything that happened after that. How, as Sarah touched on, a community came together. How service people from across the region gave up their lives to search for her. Individuals who were killed in that search and family members traumatized because of that. The crime lab, generations of public servants who never gave up hope and effort in trying to solve this crime. And all along the way, people have still and continue to talk about Candy Rogers. Not the horror of what happened, but because of everything that's happened as a result of people coming together. That's the story we have here. That's the significance we have here. And we as a family want to make sure that that is the story that is remembered, that we don't get stuck in the horror. That's such a tendency in our culture. That is not Candy, and that is not her story. And that's the opportunity in this park, is to bring forward her story so young people understand that bad things do happen, but good things can come from it. In closing, I want to share a very sobering statistic. 1 in 3 women on this planet are the victims of violence and sexual assault. 1 in 3. I'm looking at the math in this room, and it is horrific to think of that. The way we change statistics, the way we change that from being a norm is we talk about it with our children. I have 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, and obviously Candy's story is a significant one in our family. We don't talk about what happened to her, but we talk about how the community came together and how they are there to protect them and what they need to do when they feel threatened and what they need to do when they see other people being threatened. It is a learning moment. Candy is a great teacher for us. And I think Spokane has a habit of doing this, taking terrible situations and turning it into situations where people learn and we become a better and stronger community. 1 in 3 women. That is ridiculous. And we have a chance to do something about it in the way in which we tell Candy's story. So thank you for being open to the discussion. Thank you for being the eyes and the ears of our community. We're privileged to be here today and look forward to following up if you have further questions or other discussion items you want to have. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Next, we have Shep Clark. Oh, I think he's up on the screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Shepard Clark. I'm a former long-term resident of Spokane. I spent the first 17 years of my life living at 1735 West Point Road, which was just a short distance from Candy's house. We attended home school, although I was much younger than she was, and of course I never knew her. But my family was always very concerned, involved in the whole process of the investigation. I remember my dad telling me that police had come on our property and, looked in some of the undeveloped areas of our property, attempting to find clues. But more than that, I just think that people nowadays should realize what a totally different place Spokane was at that time. It was very, very low rate of violent crime. It was my childhood growing up in the 50s and 60s was like one of those Leave It to Beaver episodes. My house actually had a white picket fence. People will tell you nowadays that that's a myth, but I'm here to tell you that actually existed. So when this atrocity happened, it really had a huge impact on parents and children at that time. I don't remember the actual event, but I remember that my parents and other authority figures like teachers would cite this as a reason to avoid dangerous situations and to start using some, I guess, tactical awareness in protecting themselves. That was an immediate lesson learned from this terrible event, was that children needed to be aware that, unlike Leave It to Beaver, there were predators waiting in the wings, and you needed to help make your own self safe, just as the parents and teachers and police would do their part to help make you safe. So I think that it's entirely appropriate to honor the victim of that violent crime. Candy Rogers was a symbolic word, a symbolic name that never truly left our collective consciousness during the time when I was growing up in Spokane. And I guess I have some reason to have a say in this in some way, because Cannon Park is named after my great-grandfather, A.M. Cannon. He was my great-grandfather on my father's side. And I suppose I can speak for him, but I think it's entirely appropriate to name the playground section after Candy Rogers. It was entirely appropriate to honor the victim of this horrible event, and it's just a matter of Spokane history that should not go unremarked. Even though I, I mean, my dog's barking in the background. Even though I moved away from Spokane quite a while ago, every once in a while I would think and wonder about the progress of the Candy Rogers case and what a strange unsolved mystery it was. So I'd like to compliment SPD for reviewing and renewing this investigation and using all the modern DNA techniques to bring closure to this event. I would certainly hope that everybody involved in this investigation gets a big old letter of commendation from the appropriate source. That's about all I have.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Julie Humphreys.
Hello, thank you again for having all of us here today. We appreciate it. And if there's some overlap in our message, we apologize, but that thread is the thread that keeps us all connected, and it's kind of a neat thing. So my name is Julie Humphreys. I'm the Communication Director for the Spokane Police Department, and I was responsible for the messaging and the media communication around the solving of Candy's murder last year. And I've become involved with and gotten to know the victim's family and the perpetrator's family and community members like Sarah that you heard from and Joe, law enforcement personnel I didn't know, and others who have such a strong interest in Candy's story. It is indeed a tragic story, but it is one that pulled our community together then, when a 9-year-old out selling campfire mints disappeared and a community turned out to help find her, to pray for her, and to lift one another up in a collective fear and a sadness. And now, 62 years later, when Candy's case was solved and our community breathed a collective sigh of relief in gratitude to those who never forgot Candy or gave up searching for her killer, with the hope that some element of justice, closure, or redemption was achieved. The solving of Candy's murder was shared across our community, our country, and internationally. Media outlets from around the world contacted Spokane Police seeking interviews with our detectives, access to Candy's family members. I still field requests regularly from production companies and writers from all over the world. Producer, for a TV show called Cold Case Files spent a week here in Spokane last spring filming an episode on the Candy Rogers case. It is set to air this October. They interviewed were Candy's family, the perpetrator's daughter, the detective who broke the case, Zach Stormont, and other detectives and officers who worked on the case over many years, and also a forensic scientist from the Washington State Crime Lab who was instrumental in solving the case. And while this case, of course, and the solving of it has all the elements of a great true crime story, that is truly not what the producer was interested in, the producer on this particular show. I had a lot of opportunity to talk with him and help him put the story together. What really drew him in was the community impact of the story, the care and the love and the concern of so many people who didn't even know Candy. That should be a big part of the story, and we look forward to seeing that. And we saw that firsthand at the police department. The announcement of the solving of Candy's murder last November drew more emails, letters, phone calls, personal contacts than any case we can recall in a very long time. Repeatedly, community members said thank you to the detectives and the officers who worked on solving this case, and they relayed that Candy's death had stayed with them all of these years. I believe the interest in Candy's case is about more than solving a 62-year-old murder. It's about a little girl who represented everybody's daughter and deeply touched an entire community. A part of Candy lives on in many people who remember that night in 1959, many we've heard from who were alive then, when our safe little city was changed forever. Doors were locked, children didn't play outside unattended, and a community came together through tragedy. Naming a playground after Candy at a park in West Central where she grew up is a fitting way to keep her memory alive and to celebrate the solving of the murder. The laughter and fun emanating from a place where children gather will serve to remind us that life is precious, that Candy's life was valuable, as were the lives of the 3 airmen from Fairchild Air Force Base who died in a helicopter crash searching for her. That tragedy added an even deeper level of community concern and is another element of why this case affected so many people in Spokane and around the country. Now, I've had the privilege of getting to know Candy's cousin, Joanne. You're going to hear from her shortly. Also, the perpetrator's daughter, Kathy, who you'll also hear from. I got to meet them from the very time this case was being solved, and they were thrust together, really, 2 women living in Spokane that didn't know each other at all. These women have the beautiful, unlikely friendship that these 2 women have forged 6 decades later is truly a testament that reconciliation is possible and that good can come from evil. I choose to believe that Candy, her parents, and family members who didn't live to see this case solved would find some peace in the forgiveness and the acceptance that these 2 families have extended to one another. And a playground in Candy's name that both families want, and I think that's extraordinary, will serve to keep that story alive as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, now we have Nicole Akers.
Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm Nicole Akers. I'm the granddaughter of the perpetrator. And after getting to know Joanne, Candy Rogers' family, and developing a relationship with them, I wanted to try to find a way to honor Candy Rogers. And that's when I had thought about renaming the Canyon Park Playground. And when I suggested it, everybody loved the idea, and that's kind of why we're all here today. I don't have anything really prepared, so I'm just trying to speak from my heart. but I'm here proposing this because it's something that both sides of the families want. And I remember after finding about the horrible news and learning about what my family was involved in this case, that the detective told me that there always was somebody working on this case, always. And I just feel like Candy Rogers should be honored. She has a memorial where we can go and mourn, but we should have a place where we can go and honor and rejoice. And Candy never got that chance. She never got the chance to grow up. And to be able to go to playground and see the other kids laugh, play, it's almost like it's honoring her. She gets to still be there. I just think that it would be a beautiful thing to do for her. And I appreciate the time that you guys are giving us today for suggestions. And I guess that's really all I have to say.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now we have Tom MacArthur.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I was first approached by Sarah just to do an errand, and that was to offer a contact between her and our former U.S. Representative George Nethercutt, whom I served as press secretary 25 years ago. And I was happy to do that, to ask if he would join our happy band and offer a comment for you today. The answer came back right away. Yes, I'll work on something. Stand by. George is in Denver today, but he asks if I would serve for the moment, again, as his press secretary, and read to you the following words. Candy Rogers is a treasure. Sadly, she left us. But that doesn't mean we forget her. It is appropriate that she has a playground named after her, so we don't forget her untimely passing, so that other children can remember her fondly. I respectfully ask the Park Board to approve our request. George R. Nethercutt, Jr. I don't know if you know much of George's past, but the 10 years before he served in Congress, he was a private practice attorney here in Spokane, and got to see firsthand his specialty in law, family law, what happens to the children, who listens to the children, who tells the stories of the children. And he was one of the co-founders of an organization that is named for one of our local children who was murdered by an adult who knew her. George co-founded the Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery, named for a child who died of abuse at the age of 2 in the 1980s. So you wonder, is there a precedent in our community for naming something for a child who died? Yes, there is. The Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery. And every time a person says that name, for the moment, she's present in a conversation. She's there and relevant again, teaching lessons that we still need to hear. And that's what this group, this happy little band, brings to you today. How do we start a conversation? How do we keep a conversation? How do we honor a conversation in a real, tangible way? The first 10 years of this century, I served Walt and Karen Worthy as their communications director, just down the street at the Davenport Hotel. And the other title on my business card was historian. And I think I wore that title more proudly than communications director. But as we had new employees come in the building, I would walk down the hallways and we'd look at all of these black and white photos. And I said, please always remember, these are not people who died. These are people who lived. And history is not what was. History is about what is. Present tense, today, relevant. That keeps the Davenport Hotel relevant, and it keeps Candy Rogers relevant. I mean, she convened us today. in a way that no other force could. There's tragedy in her story, but there's always an uplifting confidence in who we are as a city. What do we choose to celebrate? What do we choose to remember? What letters do we etch in the stone? You have that privilege. Thank you for considering this opportunity. And I'll speak her name again. Candace Rogers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom.
Thanks, Tom.
Sally Jo Evers.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for a few minutes to speak. My daughter happened to be joining us from Anchorage, Alaska, and wanted to add on a little bit to what I'm going to say. So apologies that she didn't sign in, but this is Lindsay Evers.
Hello, Lindsay.
So I made a few notes because I know when we're nervous, we sometimes forget our points, and I wanted to be very succinct. But again, thank you for your time. I think we're all aware that child safety is at the forefront of our lives right now. Our schools and children are being threatened all across the country. In the work that I do with Northeast Washington school districts to help them protect our children, I share that we need to be our best every single day. We must be, because our children deserve that. We must also be very courageous in the work. Candy changed our community forever. She made us better and made Spokane a better place to live. Her spirit is one of courage. We can honor her spirit now if we are also courageous. Candy's place at the playground will be a safe place for all children.
Thank you. Hello, Lindsay.
Just apologize for not signing in,
That's all right.
but I just wanted to speak a little bit onto what my mother said, and specifically to what I feel like we might have been missing in our conversation and discussion so far about Candy and trying to get this playground named after her. And that's the importance of just courage, essentially. And we look through our communities and through our country's history, specifically in Spokane's history, and we have a long storied history there of commemorating courage. And this case is the pinnacle kind of that example. We commemorate the courage of those three essentially Air Forcemen that died. We commemorate the courage of all those community members that put forth that effort to find her. And we commemorate the continuation of the Spokane Police Department's courage to go forth and ultimately just figure out this case, to keep pushing, to keep discovering, to keep working on it, to bring peace and closure to all of us here. I would like to say that this case also, for you guys, is also a form of courage there, because we're imploring you, yes, to be courageous and to vote, yes, in our favor to name this park after. So I thank you for your time. Sorry for jumping in there, but just wanted to add that to the conversation. But thank you all.
Thank you. Kathy.
I'll try to be fast, but I'm known for talking. And first, I wanted to say that only God brings goodness out of evil. And he finds ways of taking what is tragic and making something beautiful. Upon learning about my dad's implication and guilt in this murder, I had not known a lot about it, and I definitely read lots about it for days. And I was amazed at the amount of people that followed it, that commented on it, that this was before it was known publicly that it was solved. And you can find it all over. And it just amazed me how much it touched people's lives. And then upon learning all this, I realized that, Spokane was like a city immersed in innocence. It was a safe place. People didn't worry. Neighborhoods looked out for their kids. They watched over nobody worried. And when this happened, it changed. And what it really did is Spokane stepped up and did what a lot of places had not done yet. And yet we do it all the time now. And that is, they told their kids it wasn't safe. They told their kids, there's danger, there's people that could hurt you. Don't go talk to strangers. Don't go up to cars. Stay with, they started teaching the kids, and the parents started watching more closely. Today, I think even at preschool age, we are teaching our kids these things now. That is something that I think almost, if you were in school and you didn't know, you would almost think, what's wrong with that parent? Kids have to know, because it is dangerous and things happen quite a bit more. I don't think that, one, I've never gone to a park with my own children or grandchildren where they asked me why it was named that. But if they did, I would tell them if I knew. I do not think even a young child would need the complete details. It's like the birds and the bees. You tell them what they can understand. And if they're older, I think they would be quite happy to find out this little girl was being honored. And I even think young kids, if they knew she died, would be happy to think that this park was in her name. She changed a whole city, not just her family or friends, not just her neighborhood. The whole city changed. And it has affected people to this day. If you were alive then, it affected you. You remember it. You know it. I was born in 1961, 2 years after this happened. I really didn't know it. I do know there were some programs from time to time, but I must have missed them. And I just think that, I don't think there's anybody alive then that does not remember this. And there's not a lot of murders and things that happen that people hold and carry with them. I mean, it was 62 years, and it will still be remembered in 82 years, in 100 years. And it's my thought to honor her, that her life was taken. She didn't get to grow up. She didn't get to be a teenager. She didn't get to learn to drive a car, to get married, to fall in love, to have a child. And she taught us all a lot, and she should be remembered. It took 62 years for us to solve it for her and her mother and her family that's still here, her father. She deserves that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. And finally, Joanne.
Thank you. Every single one of you, first off, for letting us all come upon you. I am Joanne. I'm Candy's cousin. I was 13 when Candy had her life taken from her. I'm 77, so that saved you having to do the arithmetic. Anyway, I can't really say much more because everybody out here has said such wonderful things, but there's not a family event that does not pass that I don't think of Candy playing right outside where the West Central Community Center stands right now. In fact, their house would have been the West Central Community Center, which where her grandfather lived. And I remember her playing in the backyard. I remember her, she was a fantastic reader. She read above her age, and she had pillows in the corner of the living room. And she'd sit there surrounded by her books. But more than anything else, she always had a smile on her face. I don't ever think I ever saw her sad. She always had a smile on her face. And if she were alive today, she may still be living in this community, the West Central Community Center. She may have had children that play or grandchildren now that would play in the park. She was a part of that community. And I think it would be beautiful to have something in that community named after Candy. I want to take an opportunity to thank everybody. What you have said is marvelous, and I could not have said it better. And I also would like to thank every single one of you for listening so intently and so respectfully. And I hope you see in your heart to consider Candy Rogers Memorial, Candy Rogers Place, Candy Rogers Playground. I hope you'll think about it for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. So my thanks to all of you. I know it takes a lot of courage to come up in front of a body like this and speak, so right back at you about courage. And thank you for your time. We're not going to go further in discussion again because it's not on the agenda, but thank you for being here. All right, Park Board, take a deep breath, and we're going to move on to our consent agenda. So we have 5 items on the consent agenda for your deliberation, and as you can see them all there, is there any Park Board member who would like an item removed for discussion? Hearing none, I would move that the consent agenda be passed as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob.
I'll second that.
And a second. Okay, great. And is there any more discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Now, we have a special guest from the Spokane Youth and Senior Centers Association, their quarterly update by Josh, maybe. Do we have Josh? Maybe he's up on the screen. Josh, are you there? Maybe not. Does anybody know?
Can you see him, Kelly?
Oh, somebody's trying to talk. User 3. Josh, is that you? Might have to take yourself off mute, perhaps. So I can't read the chat from over here. Let's see.
Yes.
All right.
I don't think anybody can hear me.
There you are. There you
I
are.
can. Oh,
Now we
you
hear
guys
you.
can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Finally.
Oh, excellent. Well, well, thanks for having me. My name is Josh. I'm the director of the Pinto Senior Activities Center. I'm kind of set up here on my laptop and my phone because my laptop is having some audio trouble. So thank you for bearing with me.
No problem.
But I'll get started here. Where do I go? Not. Oh,
All right. We still hear you. There we go.
there we go. Oh, there we go. Can you see the PowerPoint now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So here is the 2022 quarter 2 highlights for the SISCA centers. On your screen, you should be able to see the association members. So Corbin Senior Activity Center, East Central MLK Community Center, Hilliard Senior Center, Mid-City Concerns, Northeast Youth Center, Southwest Spokane Community Center, Project Joy, Pinto Senior Activity Center, Southside Community Center, and West Central Community Center. So these are our quarterly or quarter 2 attendance reports. And I just want to point out that from everything that was turned in, everybody's numbers went up in quarter 2, which is excellent. And for year-to-date attendance, we are at 106,425. And our volunteer hours are at 28,160. And we'll go on to what everybody's been doing for programs. We'll start with the senior centers. So we have Hilliard up first. They've had a very busy summer filled with recreational trips, activities, and events. They've done some overnight tours to Leavenworth, Hood River, Oregon, and in September will be spending 4 days traveling around the Olympic Peninsula. They were also able to send out a group to the Spokane Indians baseball game, and you'll notice in the bottom left there they have a participant hanging out with the mascot. They started up their monthly birthday parties again this quarter and hosted a Hawaiian luau. And in June, they actually hosted the Pullman Senior Center. They held a summer senior jamboree that included pizza, live music, lawn games, bingo, and had door prizes. Next up is my center. This is Cinto. We had a really nice second quarter. Over the past quarter, we've been working on getting some Tuesday dances going, and those dances have really grown. And we've been able to involve some of our other groups in those, which has been nice. And so I have a picture there of our clogging group, the Spring Chicks. They performed at one of the dances in June, and that was a lot of fun. We've also had a lot of events over the last quarter. I think our biggest hit was the Cinto Fiesta. We hosted a taco and burrito bar. We had some members dress up for the occasion, and we gave away mini piñata door prizes. And our tour program is in full swing. We are sending out a lot of day trips right now to local spots, and we've done some overnight tours this quarter. We went to also the Olympic Peninsula and Grand Coulee Dam tour. Corbin Senior Center, they've had a ton of activity. Their second quarter was all about fun. They hosted their summer high tea, had a Blue Hawaii luau with an Elvis impersonator, and just focused on bringing new and old friends together. They're really excited about their upcoming picnic in the park and health fair, and just continue their mission of empowering, engaging, and educating the senior community. And as always, invite everyone to come out and check out their center. Southside Community Center is up next. Southside developed a wall of appreciation that thanks their members and their sponsors from all sorts of different cultures. This is really cool to see because I started at Southside as their programs director. This is something that the board always talked about getting done, so it's really neat to see that they did that. They're also busy adding new activities and events to their monthly newsletter, and they're going to be working on developing a full-use bingo hall, which will be the only full-use bingo hall on the South Hill.
Wow. Yeah. Very busy.
Mid-City Concerns is up next, and they submitted some photos of seniors at a second harvest cooking class, learning how to make oat balls. They also spent a day up on Green Bluff and had lemonade and ice cream, and also took a group out to a Spokane Indians baseball game. For Project Joy, during their second quarter, they just continued to provide entertainment to care facilities and the retirement community. The highlight of their second quarter was their 50th anniversary celebration. They had more than 300 guests attend. You can see some pictures there of the different groups they had perform. It just sounds like it was really fun. And they are looking forward to supporting the community for the next 50 years. And we're on to our youth programs now. And so up first is Northeast Youth Center. The Northeast Youth Center had a really great second quarter. They welcomed their new executive director, Sheila Garrity, on April 18th. They had some preschool students planted their garden and had help from volunteers from Numerica, who also donated a new watering system. Students also spent the Friday before Memorial Day putting flags on the gravestone of fallen veterans. And they had 10 preschools graduate and move on to kindergarten. Their school year ended on June 17th, and their summer camps start on June 21st. And they just have a bunch of interactive and fun field trips planned. For West Central Community Center, they had their youth development summer day camps were really well attended. They're offering youth and seniors badminton 3 times a week, and they had free mixed martial arts classes as well as positive action prevention activities. For Southwest Spokane Community Center, they had some pictures of their youth groups on different outings with the Parks and Recs program. And the picture on the top left is pretty cool. It shows some of the kids seeing a deer for the first time, which is awesome. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me and your continued support of our youth and senior programs. I know without your guys' participation and our volunteers, it would be really hard to do what we do. So thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you, Josh. You know, Siska is always such a success story, and one of the favorite things that I love about parks, and I think all of us feel this is a really good investment. So thank you for that. Are there any other park board
Excellent.
members who have questions or comments? Thought I heard something, but maybe not. All right. Well, hearing nothing else, then we'll move on to the financial report. Mark Buning.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, let me try to share.
I can't decide which screen.
Okay.
There we go.
Are there any technical difficulties? Let me know if I need to repeat something, if you didn't hear or can't see something. Let me know. All right, so here I present a financial report through July here. Starting, let me, expensive sounding like a broken record, I want to mention one thing to keep in mind. We're comparing our actuals to a budget based on a two-year prior year average. And of course, we know that the last couple of years have been anything but typical. And what we'll see as we go through this, the 2022 actual expenditures and revenues will both be higher than that budgeted average. And this reflects a much more typical year as park activities resume their more normal levels. But also one thing that's been impacting us, I want to mention again the rapid inflation that we've been experiencing. And this has had a noticeable impact on our overall expenditures, particularly in seasonal. Also in petroleum-based products, building materials, utilities, equipment, and as I mentioned, temp seasonal. So again, kind of keep these things in mind as we click through here. In this first slide, we see a comparison of our actual 2022 expenditures through July, again, compared to that two-year average. And we see that our June expenditures are significantly more than that budget average. I do want to point out that this does include a $1.3 million expenditure that we had to expense that reflects that transfer of funds from 1400 to Fund 1950 for parks, our capital repair and replacement and capital program. And if we factor that 1.3 million out, the actual expenditures were above the budgeted average by about 20%, 21%, or about $1.9 million. And again, this reflects that greater level of program activity and resumption of our more normal and typical expenditure patterns. If there are any questions as I move through here, please just interrupt. Otherwise, I'll just kind of move through these slides. Looking at our second slide here shows our year-to-date revenues compared to our historical average. Actual revenues, again, exceed this budget average by about $1.8 million, or about 16%. And then just compared to the prior year, 2022 revenues exceeded 2020 revenues by about $1.1 million, just comparing one year to the other one. So again, that's reflecting a much greater level of program activity and resumption of our more normal expenditure patterns. Our third graph here, we see a comparison of our year-to-date revenues to our year-to-date expenditures. And we see that our total revenues exceed total expenditures by about $1 million. If that $1.3 million capital transfer is factored out, as I mentioned, if that's removed from the equation, revenues are over expenditures are about $300,000 less than last year. Any questions about the park fund before we move to the golf fund? Okay.
Go ahead.
Looking at the golf fund, and in this slide, we see that our year-to-date expenditures are above that historical average by about 12%. Actual year-to-date operating and capital expenditures are about $111,000 more than at the same point in time last year. The debt service payments on the SIP loan for the irrigation system replacement is about $227,000 more than last year. And, you know, obviously this year the fund is barely the full debt service cost along with all these. And however, that full impact will come to bear on the golf fund next year in the 2023 budget. Looking at our next slide, our actual total revenues, including the facility improvement, we are tracking very closely to the historical budget. Total revenues caught up in July. And, total revenues in July, if we just look at the month of last year, actually $120,000 than last year in July of 2021. Again, July was a very good month. We got a slow start in the golf fund, but activity and revenues are starting to catch up. Hopefully, we have a good month in August, and the season continues into September, maybe even October. And here's our last slide. We see the comparison of total actual revenues to actual expenditures. And again, this does include the facility improvement fee. We see that revenues exceed expenditures by about $1.3 million. Overall, the year-to-date net operating revenues, that's revenues minus expenditures, is about $60,000 less than at the same point in time last year. So that figure is improving, and hopefully, like I said, we have a great rest of the summer and a great fall for the golf fund.
Yes.
Any questions on anything I've presented?
Cogently done.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
That does conclude the financial report.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
So we
Thank you very much.
We have no special discussion or action items, and we will move on to committee reports. Kevin Brownlee with Urban Forestry.
Thank you. Urban Forestry Tree Committee met on August 2nd, and we were joined by Chris Neely, who's the new chair of the Urban Forestry Citizens Advisory Committee. We covered two major topics. The first related to urban forestry's role in plan review and inspections of projects on private property, and that to date has been performed through an informal agreement with developer services. It has been a longstanding issue that role takes more park staff time than originally agreed upon, and there's a question whether it's an appropriate role for park staff. So those inspection functions are being shifted back to developer services, and urban forestry will be available for consultation on tree issues, but this will allow urban forestry staff time again to focus on tree issues on park property and other publicly owned land. The second major item was the discovery of the emerald ash borer in Portland, Oregon. And the ash borer was first seen in the U.S. and Michigan in 2002. And since that discovery, it's been estimated that it's killed over 100 million trees. This is a very serious parasite. It's an introduced species, so it has very few naturally occurring controls in the U.S. The good news is migration is really slow. It's about a mile per year, except when it's accidentally transported by humans in infected wood, which appears to be the case in Portland. So urban forestry staff is assessing what other municipalities are doing to combat the boar before it arrives in Spokane, which unfortunately is pretty much inevitable. And the next Urban Forestry Committee meeting will be on August 30th at 4:15.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, Jerry Sperling with golf.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. I'm not sure where to look here. It's just, where is my audience? I've got one right there. I love it. Thanks. Regrouping here. We had a very long golf meeting on August 9th, and it just evolved into a variety of things, pushing us, of course, with our budget looking at 2023. But what I would like to highlight first is our downriver irrigation project is finally complete. So everything's up and running, and it was quite an interesting situation that took place. We were trying to do a lot of coordinating with other entities within the Parks Department and the city. And one of the shout outs from Mark Poirier would be for Nick Hammond. Nick was very much on top of everything this year and keeping everything moving on time. One of the things that happened too, once we got our sprinklers up and running and we got the water going, the highlight I think for downriver was we finally got the restrooms up and running. Because leave it to the flushing of water or instigation of water we didn't have, we had sand pile up, if you can imagine. So anyway, it's been quite an operation at Downriver, but right now everything is moving and functioning quite on time. August 1st, we had Golfers Appreciation Day, and what we were striving to do, the parks employees staff tables full of promotional gifts at each golf course, and what we were trying to do is present to all the golfers who are out there using the courses a big thank you, because they have put up with a lot from us for the past 3 years while we have been trying to make courses look really special and take care of the entity that we have. But meanwhile, you know, play has been down, it's been interrupted, but now we are in full force. So special shout out to Mark Poirier, who kind of headed everything up with Fiona in marketing, and then Jason Conley, who is here today, which we appreciate Jason being here, and Jennifer Papich from the Recreation Department. So anyway, everybody was just there on that full day, and just really enjoyed having a time to greet all of our golfers and thank them again for everything that they have done for us and putting up with us during these 3 years. One of the things that is happening in golf now, we are going to be having some tournaments. We call them the Pro-Ams, and we're going to be starting Esmeralda in August, of course, and at Downriver and at Qualchin. And Qualchin then will be the last one, hoping to help out with the city championship. One last final thing, too, at Qualchin, because you know, somebody asked me the other day, well, we have 3 golf courses now with all this great irrigation. However, what about Qualchin? Well, Qualchin is our baby course, and it opened in 1993, whereas the others are extremely old. But what we did was recycle our newer heads that we had at Downriver. So out at Qualchin, we really are refurbishing the irrigation system, and it's up and running in a much finer fashion now. So with that, golf was finally adjourned, and we are set for our next meeting, which will be in September. And it's going to be on September 6th at 8 a.m., and we will be down here at City Hall in the Tribal Conference Room. So we look forward to seeing you 8 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. All right, Greta Gilman is not here to present for land and has asked me to do so for her. The two action items were under the consent agenda for the Land Committee, but we did have 3 discussion items. One was on the Bourne Learning Trails Agreement with the Spokane County United Way. These are interactive signs that are put up in parks to offer some engagement suggestions to kindergarten-age children and older for ways to develop some learning skills while not being aware that they're doing that, for taking part in education and skill development while they're having fun and playing, and suggestive ways for parents to engage and hint and question. And so it's a great little program. We did express the wish that the signs not act like billboards in a park and that they be only used perhaps in the larger parks and spaced out enough so that they don't provide some visual clutter. But it's a great concept overall. The Fairmont Memorial Association came back to us. They had originally asked for an easement at the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex to get across a soccer field to some property, and the original letter of intent was to replace that soccer field that would be lost with another. But they have discovered when they do their bookkeeping that that is just not something that's financially viable for them. So they had suggested some alternatives with natural trails, but after much discussion, it was decided that that was not going to be an equivalent replacement, and that really the audiences for soccer are different than for natural trails. And so we encouraged the Fairmont group to perhaps talk with Spokane Public Schools, but to also stay in conversation with us because we value their partnership, and just to keep talking. So, and finally, there was a Finch Arboretum short-term construction easement discussion. As many of you know from what's been in the paper, there is a hotel that's on the edge of Finch Arboretum that has been purchased by Catholic Charities, and they want to turn it into a homeless shelter. And that raises a number of issues. Some of it having to do with the border. They actually have a back road that is on park property, and that is not because there was infringement, but because the park property boundary was established after the road existed, it turned out. And so, in fact, the park property is a bit oddly shaped there. But of course, we cannot, as a park department, give away parkland. We cannot sell parkland. We can approve easements if there's a benefit to parks. And so for the construction easement, we're in discussions about what those improvements might be, how that easement would operate, the restoration of any disruption to the previous existing condition. And then if this is to go forward, and there is considerable discussion with the partners, the police department, the neighborhood, et cetera, but if this were to go forward, that there needs to be a good neighbor agreement and some really careful discussions about how to handle the issues that will arise there. And so we are moving forward in discussions with them with an eye to keeping parks property intact and undisturbed, and having some benefits to park users if that should occur. So the next Land Committee meeting will be August 31st, both in the Sister City Conference Room on the first floor and via WebEx. And now we have Sally Lodato with the Recreation Committee.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We didn't have any action items, but I did have a couple of slides I wanted to show you from the recreation report to just give you a snapshot of how well our rec team continues to navigate all the programs. And I'm hoping, Pamela, do you have those slides?
You bet. I'll pull them up.
Thank you so much. So again, I really just wanted toot the horn of everyone that works under Jennifer Papich, and her team has been really amazing. And if you look at this slide, you'll see quarter two, so this is comparing quarter two of 2019, 21, and 22. You can see that programs 290, 127, 223. The participant number has greatly increased, line 2. And then the athletic teams going from 235 up to 386. It's just really incredible numbers. Learning how to do things differently, not only pre-pandemic, through the pandemic, and then coming out even stronger than as before. And I think we had one other slide. Thanks for doing this, Pamela.
You betcha.
And then the aquatics update. You can see that the pools, for this year, the summer update, we've reached 92,224 people. Compared to 2019, it was 85. And during the pandemic, when we were limited to the number of people that could attend at 46,000, these are just remarkable numbers. And I really wanted to share that one more time with Park Board and go on record that this is just amazing. And I want to thank everybody for all their hard work in making this happen and helping our community get outdoors. It was just the two, right, Pamela?
That's correct.
Yeah, thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Just a shout out to the recreation staff. It just goes to show you that Spokane Parks are our happy place, that if you need some good medicine for mental and physical health, go to a park. I can't think of any better way to lift your mood and to lift the spirits of a community. Thank you to the staff for making that such good medicine for all of us. All right. Anything else, Sally?
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, our next meeting will be August 31st at 5:15, and that meeting will be hybrid again. In person at the Sister City Conference Room on the first floor of the lobby of City Hall, and then virtually via WebEx.
Thank you, Sally. And now we have the Riverfront Park Committee. Nick Sumner is not here that I can tell, and so they did not actually meet. But John Moog has an update for us on Riverfront Park.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, John Moog here, Director of Riverfront Park. Happy to tell you about the great things happening in the park. July was just a fabulous month. So just right off the first of the month here, we celebrated the reopening of the Red Wagon after 30-some years of renovations needed on that thing. We opened it. It looks fabulous. So thanks to all that were involved in getting that going, and it's just open to the public right now. We also had our first concert of the season. Zach Bryan came out. It was a wonderful concert, sold out, amazing experience. And then we're looking forward to 3 other concerts this year coming. Actually, one this week with Iration and Atmosphere. Tickets are still available, Spokane, so come down and get it. And then we have Phoebe Bridgers coming out here on the 18th. And then finally, we have Jelly Roll on October 20th. So those are all really cool. We, of course, celebrated the 4th of July at the park and partnered with the Spokane Symphony, so that was a really cool experience. And that was the first time that we partnered with the Symphony in the pavilion with fireworks at the same time. It's been a dream in the master plan for quite some time, so we made that happen. And also, we have several other events that have been happening all through the month, and you might not necessarily see them all, but we have a fitness series that's happened. We had Pilates. Pilates is coming back in August. I won't be there, but it was still a great event. We have yoga. Yoga is coming back in August as well. We also have Carousel Story Time happening last month, but it's also happening coming up. And then we have historic walking tours throughout the park as well. So a lot of great activities happening in Riverfront, and more to come this summer. So that's my update.
There's always something going on at Riverfront Park. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Great stuff.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I forgot to mention one important thing. We celebrated the Vogel family in July. And it was a really important occasion. So if you don't know the history about one of our very own park board members, Jerry Sperling is the great-granddaughter of Charles Loof. And her family, the Vogel family, was honored for their contribution to Spokane and our community. So I wanted to bring that out. It was a wonderful occasion. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend, but we recognized the Vogel family as well as Betty Largent, who was our carousel restorationist during that time, and she received a nice plaque.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And I get to say one thing quick. It was a great experience, John. I will be seeing, the helpers, the ones who really made it all happen down at the carousel. From the food presentation, from the setup, just the enjoyment for people being able to get out, and all ages rode the carousel that day. And the weather was absolutely beautiful. So kudos to everybody there.
Yes.
Thank you.
In fact, my husband, he's going to kill me for saying this on air, but he rode the carousel on his 63rd birthday. So,
And
all right.
Philip Ogden was in the paper. So, anyway.
right. Now I'm
the
really
big-
gonna get it. Thank you, Jerry.
The big picture they did a lovely job, of really sharing the story. But Phil happened to be right behind the photo shoot of the three young ladies, which included my daughter and her cousins.
So
anyway, hooray.
So if you want to have a great party, do
Yes.
contact park staff and go to the carousel. It's a great event.
It is.
Great space.
Thanks,
All right.
John.
Thanks, John. Okay, the next Riverfront Park Committee meeting will be September 6th in the Pavilion Conference Room. So good chance to go to the Pavilion. All righty. Now we have, after all that, Bob Anderson, Finance.
Before finance, just to mention, I think something about the Loof carousel horses, they're harder to get on and off than they used to be, Jerry. I don't know if they've gotten taller or what. I don't know. But
I think they have. Yeah, we changed the height there.
I think that was
Sure
it.
we did.
Anyway, the Finance Committee met Tuesday, August 9th at 3 p.m. That was a hybrid in-person and WebEx meeting. Finance had the one action item that was approved and passed forward as part of the consent agenda. The approved SBO forward to the board as consent agenda highlights the need for effective monitoring and management of parks budgets. Accurately estimating budget needs during a business cycle of inflationary operational costs requires management flexibility and the maintenance of operational reserves that will allow the movement of funds to fill the gaps, which we just did. Mark Bunig presented the latest revision of the 2023 budget that at this time is unbalanced. A 128% increase to the risk expense adjustments was entered by the city accounting staff, and that resulted in a deficit of almost $765,000. Projected benefit expenses inserted by central accounting also appear to be low. So Garrett and the budget team will work with the city administration to determine an action plan to balance the budget. The July financials presented by Mark Bunig, they depict a decrease in bottom line revenue, and that which is primarily a result of that large transfer that Mark had mentioned from the Fund 1400 to the capital budget. And that had been approved by the Finance Committee and Park Board at an earlier meeting. The meeting was adjourned at 4:11 p.m., and the next Finance meeting is scheduled for September 6th at 3 p.m., and this time we're going to the Pavilion Conference Room, and we'll also be via WebEx. We'll get to see John and his staff over there. Looking forward to it, John.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a great venue,
Not-
another great place to have a
Can we
party.
put in requests for treats now, John? Or- I'm just... Thank you.
Right. And then Development and Volunteer Committee, Bob.
Okay, the DVC met Wednesday, July 20th at 3 p.m., and that was a hybrid format again. Garrett Jones and Rick Romero presented a draft of the partnership resolution for the 50th Expo anniversary celebration. This partnership resolution states agreed-upon goals for the Expo celebration and a 2-year financial commitment for each of the 12 partners. That's amazing that we've gotten this far so quickly. Updates to branding and initial work with landscape architects interested in contributing to the Expo celebration were also presented. And the DVC AC met on July 28th, and Chair Kelly Brown will provide an update of their meeting, which was quite a great meeting.
Thanks, Bob. The DVC met on July 28th, and it was probably one of our most robust meetings to date. Nick and Garrett were present, and they gave a great update of the Parks Master Plan, and that was the first time most of our group members had seen that. It was helpful for this group specifically as they learned how to align their ideas with the big picture, and this was a perfect prelude to our first group member presentation to date by Trevor Finchamp of the Friends of the Bluff. He presented, and our group members were able to provide great feedback and suggestions, and of course Nick and Garrett provided their feedback as well, and it was a great starting place for them as they figure out where to move along to next, and we look forward to working together and hearing other committee member presentations and finding out how we can help each other move our work along. And our next meeting is on August 25th at 4 p.m.
Thank you, Kelly. You always do such a nice job. Thank you.
It's exciting to see it coming together, the various committees. Spent a lot of time working with it, and we're getting there now. So the next DVC meeting is Wednesday, August 17th at 3 p.m. That will also be in hybrid format, City Hall and WebEx. And Kelly mentioned when the next CAC is.
All right.
Time is that, Bob? 4?
3 p.m. for the DVC, and Kelly's will start at 5.
All right. Thank you, Bob. In the interest of time, I have no president's report. Nick Sumner is not here for Conservation Futures. Barb Ritchie asked me to speak a little bit about the Parks Foundation. She and I met with Yvonne Trudeau and their president, Amy Lutz, had dinner, and just basically welcomed Yvonne in her new capacity as the executive director of the Parks Foundation. Yvonne, of course, knows the whole territory there, having worked in the office for a long time, and so they're in great hands, and it was just a very enjoyable dinner moving things forward. City Council, I don't believe we have anybody here from Jonathan Binkle's office, and so now, today, in the director capacity, is Jason Conley, acting director.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be back. I was sitting here thinking it's been a few years since I've been up here on the dais. I've never been in a virtual. I've been on the other side of the camera for the virtual. Feels a little bit like Big Brother here, looking up and seeing what's going on inside the house. I do have a few things, and no particular order, but I will say, I really enjoyed today's meeting and the public comment and the connections that were brought up and the touch points of the community. And the one thing that was said that really hit home hard for me was that one of the lead police officers that solved the case, Officer Zachary Stormont, he worked for the Parks Department for years. He was a park security officer, and quite frankly, a stud at the time that he was working for us. So I'm not at all surprised that his passion for parks and his passion for people carried forward to him being a big component of solving that cold case. So as you see his name come up through the news, and sounds like there's going to be a story in October that airs, you just know that he worked at Riverfront Park, and that's a connection for all of us. And I might be the only one here today that knows that, but I did want to call it out. On to other topics. Here it is, August 11th, and thinking that summer's fastly slipping away, but there's still 3 to 4 great weeks before school starts back up. A great time, as you touched on, President, to get out and participate in the park and the benefits that come with it. Quite honestly, our parks are pretty tuned up right now. They look amazing. I mean, this is kind of one of the peak parts of the season where everything is grown in and it looks just magical. So I'd encourage everyone in the community to get out, and including us, challenge ourselves, take advantage of things one more time. We've got about 2 more weeks of our pool season. It's hard to believe that we're going to say goodbye to swimming August 26th. So I'd say, if you're thinking about going to a pool, better do it, before we close for the year. Part of the reason I'm here today is as staff, we're celebrating vacation season as well, and Garrett's on a well-deserved vacation as well as some other members of the leadership team. I want to thank the Park Board for your support on behalf of staff for the budget development. And some years go really easy, even though there's a lot of work behind it. But this does not appear to be one of those years yet. But that's okay. It is a process, and we started it last month where you adopted some priorities for us to sink our teeth into as staff, and we're doing that. And I can say safely, there's not a day go by that us in the budget office are not working hard on and helping refine the 2023 budget for next year. So no need to panic yet. Cause to be alarmed, you betcha. But we still have plenty of time between now and October to continue to work the numbers and work with our colleagues and other floors here. Bob, you did a nice job of summarizing what was presented to the Finance Committee a couple of days ago, but we'll continue to work that for you. I wanted to give an update on the Merkle turf. If you remember, we had a special park board meeting a little bit ago, and that project will start September 12th out at Merkle, where they will do the prep work, and then hopefully by the 19th of September, new turf, old turf's coming out, and new turf will start going in. So I just wanted to give you an update that you probably haven't heard about what's going on with that project for a while, but it's well on its way. I want to say, I want to provide a little shout out, kudos to Sarah Johnson. Sarah's not in the audience today. Sarah is one of our park accountants. And Sarah was recently recognized as a finalist for Employee of the Quarter for the Park Department. And that's an award given by the Mayor's Office 4 times a year. And we nominated Sarah. She stepped up in a period of time where we had a couple other key members of the accounting team out of the office for a period of time, and Sarah took on more work. So she's a very quiet, behind the scenes person, and so I wanted to kind of rattle the cage and blow the trumpet a little bit on her behalf. Sarah is a wonderful member of the Parks team, and I just wanted to take this time to thank her for all that she does for us on a daily basis. Many of the numbers that come before you each month, Sarah has a big role in that. And finally, it'll be a little hard for those of you on the screen to see, but I'd like to, in person introduce our new clerk for us, Sarah Dietrich. Sarah, can you wave your hand? At some point, we'll make sure everybody gets to meet you in person. Sarah's first day was Monday in Parks. She comes to us, as you all read in her bio that came out in an email from Civil Service. Sarah is a seasoned city veteran, and we're tickled to have her. But like many of us in the Park Department, it's a little trial by fire. So here's her first week, and we're tasking her with a very tough assignment, and that's making sure we're all prepared and in our right chairs and ready for the cameras to come on at 3:30 today. So thank you, Sarah. Welcome aboard, and we look forward to many more years of successful Park Board meetings. With that concludes my director report, and thank you for your time.
All right. Well, you sit in that chair pretty easily, so thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
And thank you, Sarah. Welcome aboard. Nothing like jumping in with both feet, right?
Especially on Park Board Week.
Yes, yes, indeed. So I know I went through some details of some important topics, and so check the minutes of those various committees if you have questions. And it is now almost 5 o'clock, 4:58, and so if there's nothing else, I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer.